Who's the greatest leader who ever lived? Perhaps the greatest leaders are yet to come. The problems confronting the next generation will require greater vision, commitment, and inspiration than we may have ever known before. Too much pollution, not enough education, corrupt politicians, bankrupt morals, overvalued dollars, undervalued people. The leaders who will be faced with these enormous challenges are children, at least for the moment. It can be frightening to think of today's young people becoming our leaders when the kids you see on the news all seem to be drug-addicted gang members, and the kids at the mall seem more interested in improving their wardrobes than improving the world. But there are hundreds of thousands of young Americans already preparing to take the reins of leadership, kids who will fill you with hope. Hate crimes have been rising at a rate of 20% a year. Racism seems unchecked, but there's hope. Miami is a city at war, racial war. Tensions between whites, blacks, Cubans, and Central Americans run deeply and violently. But some of the city's youngest citizens aren't standing still for racism anymore. They're dancing, singing, and pleading for racial harmony in a musical called City at Peace, all based on the kids' own experiences. The extraordinary young woman who helped these kids find and raise their voices is their 18-year-old leader, Katie Christie. Katie started the performing group, Peace Child Miami, as a new chapter of an international organization which uses music to foster social change. Each year, she stages a new show and another 100 kids begin a dramatic evolution.
The purpose of my life is to create a better world for myself and for my family and all my friends. The way I have found to do that is through Peace Child.
Katie's work in fighting racism is rooted in her own rainbow background. Adopted by a Greek father and Jewish mother, she was told that her birth parents were Hispanic and Irish, but she looks black. So she's encountered bigots of many colors.
I think about when I was a kid and how I felt inside. There was just this fire burning inside. And it's still there, and I still feel it. And I've changed because I know what to do with it now.
Can I have everybody on the stage?
Miami right now is a very tense city. I got 100 kids together because they felt that tension. They were all, segregated, the black people, the Latin people, and by the end of the first day, everybody was hugging. They opened up, they were ready. They really want for things to change.
Hello! Let's go!
I know a lot of them have been involved in drugs. A few of them have been involved in gangs.
Hey man, what's up? I haven't seen you in the longest.
Quitting a gang is not as easy as you think. It's pretty hard. When my gang leader died, it was kind of like very sad. We all went out together and he got shot. So the rescue picked him up and I was in the rescue with them and they took us to the hospital. So all he did was hold my hand and tell me quit the gang. And he just died right there. Now, Peace Child is a gang for me. I mean, Peace Child is a gang of liberty and freedom of color and everything. So it's helped a lot, really.
When I've told people who are not in City at Peace that Joel was in a gang and he got out, they were like, and he's living? I'm glad that we were there for Joel, because if we weren't, he could have been right back in that gang real easy.
I've been able to see a change in me, because there were people in the show that I could tell you personally I didn't have a great outlook on when I first met them at the audition. But like Katie taught us, you will learn to like these people, not because you have to, but just because you'll notice that they're not all bad and you're not all good.
After months of perfecting their heartfelt appeal for a world without racism, drugs, and gangs, it all comes down to one night and the performance of City at Peace.
Guys, I just want you to know that you guys are gonna be great. You've worked so hard and you've already learned the lesson. You have already done everything that we came here to do. Look at you guys. We're proving a point right here. I just want you all to know that I love each and every one of you more than you know. And good luck. Oh, I love you, Kate.
Oh, I love you.
The play revolves around rival white, black, and Hispanic gangs, ingredients in a melting pot that's boiled over. Ultimately, the young warriors are brought together by the innocent love of two children and the moving pleas of a girl whose best friend was killed by bullets of racial hatred.
I would hope that all of the people in the audience feel that same way, that they realize that it does begin with them. I'm not asking them to take a huge role in changing the society, but a big role in changing themselves.
The message was powerful, just like a punch in the solar plexus of bias and violence and hate and all of the things that make society unpleasant. And the impact that a group of youngsters can have is incalculable.
These 100 kids that did City at Peace, they have already changed their lives. And they've changed their family. And they will change the world as they grow up and keep their morals the way they are. They'll grow up and create a better world. And there is no doubt in my mind that that will happen.